Okay, so I'm gonna break down my thoughts on Big Brother right now. Right this second, I am feeling crazy. I'm feeling like I'm on a roller coaster of Big Brother emotions. It was really low, then it was high, and then it's low, and now it's high, and now it's low. And I just don't know how to figure it out.
We're doing the Secret Alliance a little different on this episode. We're going to make it short and sweet. We're going to hear from Rachel and get her thoughts on the last eviction. We're also going to talk about that new game twist. I'll be giving a little insight too. It's all straight ahead here on the Secret Alliance. Oh, if you're wondering, this is what I call vacation Jason, the beard. This is how you know, look at some of that gray in it, that I was on Big Brother 20 years ago. No gray back then in my mid-20s. Flash forward to my mid-40s. It's happening. But not so much up here, so I'll take it. Again, on vacation here, so we're doing this a little different, but enjoy the content and all of this amazing insight into the game. We're kicking this thing off here with Rachel Riley and her take on all that's transpired in the Big Brother house.
Okay, so my biggest high is this week's HOH. If you would have asked me a week ago, I would have been like, what is this guy even doing on the Big Brother show? How did he get cast and why is he in this game? But now I'm like, oh, I'm kind of loving him. And I've watched a few live feed clips and I'm like, I really love watching him on the live feeds. He talks to the cameras, he tells us what he's thinking, and what he's thinking is basically what I'm thinking. So I'm okay with it. My biggest low is the Festy Bestie because come on guys, it's just the dynamic duo twist all over again. I mean, I'm not knocking CBS. I love the twist. But I feel like the way that the house guests played the Festy Bestie was completely the opposite way that I would have played. I mean, obviously, I know what I was doing. I won that season. And there's just a few other things I have to vent about. Okay, what's up with the veto this week? I mean, I totally am so excited that Michael and Brittany won. And I'm really excited that they got to do a backdoor because this is the Big Brother entertainment that we have been loving. But what I'm not so sure I'm really confused about is why Nicole thought it would be a good idea to throw the veto so that her and Taylor could be back on the block. And didn't Nicole just see what happened to Pooch last week when he was a pawn? What was she thinking? I mean, sure, let's throw the veto so you try to get Taylor out. No, that is a bad idea. You never want to be on the block come eviction night, even if you're trying to get the other person out. That's just silly. I mean, literally, Pooch just walked out the door as a pawn. And Taylor, no, I will not be okay if she goes home this soon. I mean, I'm kind of obsessed with Taylor this season, and I love Brittany and I love Michael, and I surprisingly love Turner this week.
First, let's talk about that big 2-hour episode. We saw Pooch and his eviction. It really was Big Brother at its finest in a blind side. If you were rooting for Pooch, sorry about this. That guy from Staten Island, who I keep getting a lot of comments about that. He sort of looked like me back on Big Brother season 3. I don't know. I don't see it, but okay. All right. I'm enjoying all of that. But Pooch was sent packing and what do we say? Like, to the doghouse, that kind of a thing. And he's now back out and about. If you follow him on his social media channels, he has sort of a lot to say about what happened to his game and what's been happening in the Big Brother house. So maybe check that out if you're interested in that. Sort of in honor of Pooch, some things have been happening in the house. Some of the players have sort of said, we're not just going to follow Pooch on out the door and let one side of the house sort of take over and control this game. So The Leftovers was born. Now, I may be getting a little bit ahead of myself because this may have in part developed because of a Big Brother twist. And that's called the Festy Bestie. This is the Big Brother Festival summer. And so they've done this thing where they pair up Big Brother contestants. It was all part of the HOH competition. Now, we don't know exactly how this might play out on Thursday night. Julie said, we still don't know which member of a Festy Bestie group who is remaining, what this means for their game the next week. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily safe, but we just have to wait and see in this eviction show coming up. So that's something that we still don't know how this challenge is going to play out, this big twist. But again, it keeps these house guests on their toes. And as we hear Julie say, summer after summer after summer, expect the unexpected. I saw that 20 years ago in a game Big Brother 3, where we had the golden power veto introduced, where we had a player return to the game, and so many other little twists and turns along the way. Now, I will say, one of the things that was interesting as we watched the leftovers form, we saw this new alliance taking shape. And these are players who feel they're a bit disenfranchised from some of the other alliances that have formed in this house. And so they have come together, sort of bringing in Taylor as the last piece of this puzzle. And we're going to find out if they're able to pull off what they are trying to with Turner in power as the current HOH. Will he be able to put Ameerah up on the block? And will Ameerah go home? Now, it looks like they've got the numbers as I've been doing some of the rough calculations, but we got to wait and see. Thursday night is going to be a big, big show to see what happens in the game of Big Brother.
Final note. Taylor's still in the house. Michael's still in the house. Yay! And Brittany's in the house, which I really like Brittany. She's kind of really fun. And double final note. I can't wait to see how the chips fall next week and who's going to win HOH tonight. It's going to be exciting, just like old Big Brother. I am looking forward to it.
You can check out past episodes of The Secret Alliance right here on this YouTube channel. Just click away. We have so many interviews with Big Brother legends and so much more just waiting for you right now. Thanks for watching.